Air Canada flight attendants will start voting today on a new tentative deal reached after that three-day strike last week by the flight attendants caused some travel chaos.
Let's bring in CP24's Beatrice Vaisman, who's covering this for us. Beatrice, you mentioned the vote doesn't actually start till later this afternoon.
3 o'clock this afternoon, and the voting period lasts for quite a bit of time. Courtney and Nick, the 10,000 flight attendants represented by the union have until September 6th to cast their ballots and have their say about whether or not they want to accept this deal that was really put together by an arbitrator, a mediator, about a week ago after a 72-hour strike. Courtney and I spent several days here at Pearson. The planes behind me, Air Canada and Rouge planes, they were just sitting here stacked rows upon rows of dozens of aircraft during the strike. I mean, it was grounded. Travelers really had some difficult times getting out of Toronto, getting into Toronto, going on vacation with their families, or getting back home. Things are back up and running completely right now. But certainly there's a lot of concern about what happens next. The union represents some 10,000 flight attendants. They'd been bargaining with their employer since December, but really their contract hasn't changed for a decade. And so there were a lot of concerns and pushes when it came to specifically wages. And this is really going to be the key issue on the ballot today. For the wages, this 4-year deal includes total pay raises of 16 to 20% over the course of several years. For Rouge employees and mainline staff at Air Canada with 5 years experience or less, they'll be getting a 12% raise. More experienced mainline flight attendants are going to get an 8% increase. But even with this 12% increase, Nick and Courtney, a lot of the experts are saying that it does not provide really a livable wage for these entry-level flight attendants in cities like Toronto and Vancouver, where the cost of living is extremely high. So that's one of the key issues. Secondly, the union talked about the biggest win being pay for ground work before the plane takes off. So we know now that this new contract that's being proposed would include a 50% increase to their pay for 1 hour prior to takeoff. So they'd be getting paid for some of the work they do on the ground before the plane is actually in the air. As for what flight attendants have been telling us, I mean, our colleagues at CTV News have been talking to some of them, and for all intents and purposes, it sounds like many of them, Nick and Court, are prepared to reject this deal that's being put forward. What happens after that? There will not be another strike, so travelers, don't worry if you're booked on Air Canada in the near future. It would then go to an arbitrator and a mediator to try to hammer out a new deal between the two sides. But 3 o'clock this afternoon, the flight attendants start voting. They've got until September 6th. And we'll find out after that exactly what's going to happen with this contract. Back to you guys.
Okay. At least we know there won't be another strike, regardless of how this goes. Beatrice Vaisman, live this morning at Pearson B. Thank you.